Shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just want to get into a brief lesson, and Lord willing, share this article with you, Akiyam and Akwaf, pretty much displaying the downfall, okay, of this Edomite power structure, all right, in the form of the NATO and the EU. And we're in a time now where this system is being exposed for being corrupt. All right, the wine, all right, that they've been pitching to the nations has now been found out to be spiked wine, man. Having them drunk. And scripture says, woe to him, that forces this neighbor to drink. And this is exactly what this Western hegemony has been doing, since their inception. And now we're in a time now where they're crumbling, man. All right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is being exposed for being the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, his system is being exposed for being corrupt, and all his atrocities and left-hand dealings, unrighteous dealings, riches gotten by deceit. It's all in the forefront now. It's all on the table. This man can no longer hide himself. And there's a complete division, within the house of Esau. And it's pretty much prophecy playing forth regarding, this man's system crashing, crumbling, and splitting, and ultimately his allies turning against him. All right, which are these European nations. All right, and we're seeing the beginning stages of that now. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, before we get this article, let's go to the book of Mark. Bear with me. Let's go to the book of Mark, the 3rd chapter. Bear with me, your phone's lagging. Alright. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 24, and it reads, this is red letter, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. And it reads, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. You see? And we see clearly, all right, that this place is divided, man. You look at the Senate. All right, look at these Democrats and Republicans, man. Now we know that they're two wings, part of the same bird. But when you even dig deeper into the political view that they have regarding their constitution and they were the way they want to go regarding their social construct. There's a complete division. All right, you have individuals that are coming against this place for what they're doing over there in Palestine. Riding out with them small hats, in an inhumane manner that they're approaching the conflict over there. It's just a complete madness, okay? A complete madhouse. They're not seeing eye to eye. And this starts from the top. With the elite. This is why they're dragging their feet regarding this fourth industrial revolution. Because they're not seeing eye to eye either. You see, but as they say in the world, there's no honor. There's no honor amongst thieves, man. And who's the biggest thief? Than Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And when you take a glance into this man's history, it's always been him warring against his fellow neighbor. Okay, Edomite on Edomite crime. Excuse me. You see, you had back in the time of the Greeks, right? You had the Ptolemaic Empire, right? Which they were over there in Egypt. They were warring against the Seleucid Empire, man. This is Edomite on Edomite. You see, scriptures tell us at that time in First Maccabees, evils increased on the earth at that time, during the time of the Edomites. And you just continue to go on through their history. They've always been at war with one another. Okay? What do you think World War I was about? World War II. Okay, these civil wars. Alright? It was Edomite on Edomite, man. And it's nothing different, alright, than what's coming in these days to come, in the war to end our wars. Okay, which is our third world war. When the whore, America, is going to go up against the bear, man, which is Russia. That's going to be Edomite on Edomite. Alright, but ultimately, what's going to develop, okay, is the separation of this European Union that you see before you. Alright, and it's all prophetic. We're going to show you through the Spirit, Lord willing. Let's get a little more here. Excuse me. The book of Mark chapter 3 and verse 25, and it reads, "And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand." See? The house of Esau, man. It's divided. It's divided. Because they're tussling and toiling for who's going to have the power. Because again, there's no honor amongst thieves. You see? Let's get this article. Now this is from Natural News. It's dated January 2nd, 2025. And the title reads, "Trump plans to rebuild NATO while maintaining Ukraine support." Now, to have to rebuild something, that means it's broken down. To have to rebuild something. You see? Showing you the collapse, okay, of Esau right before your eyes, man. Let's get a couple of these pressure points here. Trump's administration is calling for NATO members to increase their defense spending to 5% of GDP, which GDP is gross domestic profit, right? More than double the existing 2% target. Despite earlier campaign promises, Trump's team is maintaining military aid to Ukraine, which is seen as a move to keep Russia at bay, not realizing in reality, this is pretty much building up to that third world war. You see? Now, we know that scriptures tell us, that the least of the flock, shall draw out Babylon. The least of the flock being those small hats. You see? And as you can see, Babylon's been supporting the small hats. The whole time the small hats, they were established over there through the Balfour Declaration. They were established through the British, through the mother of Babylon. You see the Babylon, America was established through the British. You see the Great Britain is the mother of this harlot. Okay, and again, it also founded those small hats over there. You see, so ultimately, just to bring it back around full circle, there's a lot going on in the East. You see, and what's going on with Ukraine is, they want to become part of the EU, but Putin ain't trying to have that go down, because that he understands that that's going to allow Babylon to be right at his front door. You see, so that's what's going down over there. That's why Putin is resistant. Kala Yahabashi Meshach 144 on this license plate in front of me, on my way to camp right now. So yeah, that's what's going on over there. Putin is resistant and warring with them over there in efforts to disannul that territory, that Ukraine territory, to be part of the EU. You see, so again, it's not keeping Russia at bay. This is just the build-up. I say all that to say this. This is just the build-up, okay, to that third world war. What the Lord is doing, he's gathering the nations, okay, in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat over there in Western Asia. That's what's going down. But let's continue on. Trump threatens to impose tariffs if NATO members do not, and a tariff is pretty much like a tax or like a fine or whatnot, right? If NATO members do not meet the new defense spending target, using it as a negotiating tactic to leverage financial commitments from Europe. Check this out. European leaders are wary of the increased military spending demands, but recognize the need for U.S. backing against Russian aggression. However, the financial burden could lead to austerity measures and domestic backlash. You see, and that's exactly what's going to go down. You see? They're gonna go rogue, man. Because something's gonna trigger these European nations to backfire on Babylon, because the scriptures tell us that it's gonna happen. You see, when you go to let me see if I want any more. You can probably grab. Let me see here. I'm gonna go get a precept real quick. Time. When you go to the book of Obadiah, in the 1 and 7, it reads, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. And when you're in confederate with somebody, you're at agreement with them. You see, so at this time, the EU nations are at agreement with Babylon. Okay? Ultimately, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is putting it on their minds to do so. Okay, as it tells us in Revelation, Lord willing, we'll get that as well. Check this out. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. You see that? And prevailed against thee. So they're going to prevail. So upon them, backlashing, all right, and going rogue, ultimately, they're part of that assembly of great nations you can read about in Jeremiah. Okay? They're going to shoot at her and spare no arrow, man. Look it. They that eat thy bread, which that bread goes into money, right? And we know America is the biggest importer out of every country on this planet. You see? Everything gets imported over here, man. You can get everything. You can find anything and everything from all over the world right here in Babylon. Why? Because this is the mother of harlots, man. Right, look it. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, man. And how are they going to lay that wound under you? When they shoot them arrows upon you, man. That's how they're going to lay that wound under you. Right? There is none understanding in him, right? Because his terribleness has deceived him. Okay? Esau's pride has him in a position of deception so deep that this nigga think he can't be stopped. But the beautiful thing about it is that he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. And the rug is going to get pulled right from underneath his feet. Shortly to come. Shortly to come. Let's get a little more of this article. All right, here we go. Trump's strategy is seen as bold but ambiguous. With insiders suggesting he might settle for a lower 3.5% defense spending target, indicating a possible negotiating tactic to drive a compromise. Let's get a little more. It seems like President-elect Donald Trump is about to embark on a daring mission to reshape the global defense landscape, all while keeping Ukraine in the fold. Let's see here. According to a new report from the Financial Times, the NATO member states increased their defense spending for a whopping 5% of their gross domestic profit. That's more than double the existing 2% target. Which, let's face it, bear with me, which, let's face it, has been more of a suggestion than a mandate. Trump is apparently willing to keep military aid flowing to Ukraine, despite his earlier campaign rhetoric of cutting and pushing Ukraine into negotiations with Russia. A move that bounds to raise eyebrows but make the Eastern Europeans breathe a sigh of relief. Right, because they still have that support at that point from the U.S. But guess what? It's not going to work out in their favor. Okay? Why? Because prophecy says otherwise, man. Alright, when you go sigh of relief, yeah, okay. When they say peace and safety, you know, that's sudden destruction, man. Okay, prophecy says otherwise. Let's go ahead. The book of Revelations, chapter 17. And I'm gonna start from verse 18 and read up to 16, which is the point. Alright? It hits. Right? It hits different. Watch. The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 18, it reads, And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? And this is talking about the daughter of Babylon, that whore, the mother of harlots. Okay, she rides this beast system, which is comprised of the NATO and the EU. All right, let's go. Right, verse 17. For power hath put it in their hearts. Right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has put it in their minds. Okay, in whose minds? In the minds of the European nations, man. Look it. You're going to find out in a second. Watch this. For power has put it in their hearts, right, in their minds. The word hearts in the Hebrew is lab, right, to fulfill his will. See? It's all about Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Prophecy, man. These nations are not operating outside of the realms of prophecy. No, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing when they're supposed to be doing it. You see? And agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of power shall be fulfilled. See? Now watch this. There's going to come a time when what? Verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou hast upon the which thou sawest upon the beast. My bad, bear with me. I gotta pay attention. Let's read this from the top. The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16, it reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, and that's the European Union, right? The EU. These shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked. So there's gonna come a time where they're gonna go rogue, man. You see? And who knows? Maybe Trump adding tariffs to them might trigger a campaign for them to bring this to fulfillment. Either way, the cookie crumbles. It's gonna happen. All we're doing is measuring the times diligently, man. And we know in part, and we prophesy in part. Right? Look it. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. You see? Burn her with fire. How you think that's gonna happen? When the missiles are shot, man. You see? So, hey, as you can see, hey, Esau's running out of time, man. Esau's running out of time. Hey, he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. And we can clearly see he's in straits, man. He's in straits. And, Trump coming into office, who's modern day Nero, we believe, through the Spirit. Hey, man, he's going to turn this thing up a notch. All right? He's going to turn this thing up a notch, man. As we can see, 2025 has started out with a bang. As we can see, 2025 has started out with a bang, man. And it's all by design. Okay? Because we're at the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's lifeline, man. Hey, we almost there, Akiyam and Akwaf. Hey, stay prayed up. Fast as well as pray. Hey, keep your eyes to the sky. Yahweh Shai, our Savior, He's coming. He's coming. He's on His way, Akiyam and Akwaf. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwaf will edify. Shalom.